Well, I have two things. One, I'm totally trying to crack this code on this DSCR thing. Okay. So, what I want to do is I'm trying to figure out a way where for my investors, they can take out a DSCR loan. Because, with a lease with option, they have a good lease, and it's usually a high lease value because these properties, when I rent to own them out, you're getting so much higher of a price than you would if you were to just regular lease it. Um, and then you're not paying the maintenance, you're not paying property management fees, all of those things. So you have a really good lease value that's great for a DSCR loan. So they can get DSCR loans approved, but remember, there's a big down payment a lot of times on DSCR loans. So what I'm trying to crack the code of is using the down payment from the rent to own tenant buyer to pay for that down payment, do it in a way where it's kind of seamless so that the investor gets that down payment at the same time, basically.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. And today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Corrina Webber, who's been making serious moves as the owner of Rent2Own LLC, helping investors find properties and, solutions for their rentals. So excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I think our listeners are going to take something away from all of your creative solutions that you have for them. So let's dive in. First off, for those that are not familiar with you and your world yet, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
Sure. Yeah. So I am the creative finance girl. So I will help investors basically take their properties and cash flow better using the rent to own model. And then I will find the rent to own tenant buyers and put them into those homes. I started this just because I wanted to help people get into houses that couldn't traditionally.
Amazing. I love that. And where are you operating out of? What markets are you working in?
Sure. So right in Wichita, Kansas market, and the surrounding areas like El Dorado, Kansas, like pretty much Kansas, and then also some Kansas City.
Awesome. So what has been like the key to keeping your business to run smoothly?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I would just say keeping inventory and then marketing, right? So I'm the constant networker, but also just making sure that I'm solving problems on the daily. So not only just getting constant inventory in, but also connecting people and solving those problems. So that's really kind of the key to keeping my business afloat every day and keeping things moving is actually keeping things moving, moving. So I have a pretty cool like routine. I get up early in the morning and I start my marketing from my bedroom when I wake up. I literally wake up, drink some iced coffee and start marketing, so it's really just consistently doing it every single day.
Amazing. I love that.
Thanks.
So, you've mentioned a lot about the creative financing process. Can you expand on what that looks like? What kind of some of those solutions are?
Definitely. So, it's funny because everybody thinks that the way to that there's banks are it, and they're really not. So I say they're really not. Really, there's other people that need to other investors that need a solution to offload their property. There's so many different ways to finance a property or for someone else that needs that property disposed. And so matching up those two people is just it's the way it's creative financing. That's what it is. And so what I do is I'm the person that matches those two people. So I will take an investor's portfolio and sometimes I will go find those properties for an investor um through acquisition just like you would a wholesaler, right? So go find those properties and then get them to where, hey, we'll find those for you and then match them up to the rent to own buyer. Sometimes it's as is. Even. So the rent to own buyer will go ahead and do the repairs themselves, but they're building their own equity into that. So there's just so many ways. Creative financing is just such a broad term because there's so many fun ways to do creative finance. But really the goal is for the investor to be kind of that one-stop shop where, hey, listen, I'll either take your current inventory and dispo it to where it cash flows. And then for the rent to own buyer tenant, hey, I'm helping you get into a home that you wouldn't have been able to purchase through a bank and get funded this way. And then once they get into it, if they want to refinance and work on, usually it's credit that's holding them back, then they can go ahead and do that. But it might take, 2, 5, 10, 20 years and in order to refinance that house out. And by that time, the investors definitely cash flowed and then they're still getting their sale price they want. So it's definitely a win-win for both parties.
Absolutely. What have been some of like those fun, creative solutions that have been your favorite with some of the clients that you've worked with?
Sure. Oh my gosh, I have so many stories. Um, I would say one of my favorites, I probably have two. One of my first favorites would be a commercial deal because commercial is so exciting and you don't think of commercial as rent to own, right? And so my investor had gotten a school slash church on a great deal. He really did. And so we found a really cool buyer. They are like a neurodivergent school for children. And so we got them in there and their lease was optioning it. And so they'll be in there, they'll probably convert it over to a full option in 7 years and then purchase in 10. But it's just such a cool deal because you don't think of a big commercial property like that. The investor is doing a win-win because he refinanced off of that contract. So he definitely made very well on that deal. But then now this school has an opportunity to purchase a property. They were struggling to find something to rent. And now they have this great space. I mean, it's a fantastic space. And so both parties really won. A lot of people just don't think of rent to own in the commercial world. And it was a really neat story. So that's one of my favorites by far. And then I will say the other one is, when you think rent to own, you think beat up, right? You think like smaller properties, kind of distressed. Well, I have properties that in my market, the top of like the market is probably good properties are 400, 500,000 are beautiful properties here. And so I have properties in that price range. So I have properties from 60,000 all the way up to 500,000. And so one of my favorite stories is probably a family that they worked so hard on their credit and it just still wasn't right there. And we got them into a $350,000 property. And then within a year, they went ahead and refinanced that. And that right there was just, man, that's awesome. That's gold, you know? And the investor, of course, is thrilled because they got to sell that property exactly over market what they wanted. And then the tenant buyer got the property that they wanted as well. So it was just a perfect match.
Amazing. I love that story.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Thank
So I'd
you.
love to ask you this. Every business owner has those moments where things get more real, maybe a deal goes sideways, or you have to pivot fast. Would you mind sharing one of those moments that you've experienced and how you overcame it?
Girl, that is like on the weekly, okay?
Yeah.
I I swear that is this world. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you have
Yeah.
many.
So oh my gosh. So I would say one recent is hey, this client had said, "Hey, listen, I'm moving out and I will have the down payment to move into this rent to own property and I'm closing. I want to close 2 days from the day I sell the other property." Okay. And this is still rent to own, realize, but it still goes through a closing process. It still goes through escrow and all of that. So they're like, "But I need a place to store my items for 2 days." Okay. So we got special permission. This was so crazy. We got special permission for them to put their belongings into the garage. Now, we didn't want to give them early possession because what happens if something falls away, falls out? I don't want to give them early possession of the full property 2 days early because you never know what's going to happen. So we're like, okay, we'll give you the garage. So I, we go and show up. They had full movers, you guys, like full movers. I'm talking like a whole house full of stuff. Like they're bringing appliances and they're like, well, the movers want to move the appliances in at least and just install everything. And I'm like, I don't have permission to give you like full possession of this property 2 days before you close. So we ended up having to put everything still in the garage. And then just put like some special locks on it. And then 2 days later, have the movers come back and move everything back in after they closed. But they actually did close. But talk about like we were expecting just to go and open the garage and let them move a couple of things in. No, I'm talking like a whole day. And so that was kind of wild. Like I hadn't experienced that one before. But talk about something kind of going like
That's good. I
just
thought you were
things.
about to say they didn't close. I was waiting for the horror story, but I'm glad they closed.
Girl, I think I would have cried. I would have cried. Yeah, it luckily closed, but I was nervous because what if it doesn't? Like, you know how many times deals fall out the day of closing or it gets pushed off like 2 weeks? The check didn't clear, those type of things. So, like, you're just nervous the whole time and their stuff's in the garage, full movers. So I'm like, oh, this is terrifying. But yeah, it still went through, thank goodness. But it was still
Yeah.
like, but I was expecting a couple boxes. Like, I'm
Wow.
just gonna put a couple boxes in the garage.
Yeah. That's
Not like
funny.
the whole family and movers and the whole shebang.
Yeah, they're like, my lease has ended in my last place. Sorry. Like, I'm going.
Like, I'm not kenneling the dogs. I'm not doing it.
Totally.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that was
Love
fun.
that.
Yeah.
So, what are you, yeah. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next in your business?
Well, I have 2 things. One, I'm totally trying to crack this code on this DSCR thing. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm trying to figure out a way where for my investors, they can take out a DSCR loan. Because with a lease with option, they have a lease. A good lease, and it's usually a high lease value because these properties, when I rent to own them out, you're getting so much higher of a price than you would if you were to just regular lease it. Um, and then you're not paying the maintenance, you're not paying property management fees, all of those things. So you have a really good lease value that's great for a DSCR loan. So they can get DSCR loans approved, but remember, there's a big down payment a lot of times on DSCR loans. So what I'm trying to crack the code of is using the down payment from the rent to own tenant buyer to pay for that down payment for the DSCR loan, but do it in a way where it's kind of seamless so that the investor gets that down payment at closing so that they close at the same time, basically. or close within 24 hours so that the rent-to-own tenant buyer can get the keys, but that down payment still pays for the DSCR loan down payment.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I'm trying to crack that code. I'm close, but that's where I'm at. So that's the one I'm really trying to, the Rubik's Cube, trying to solve the puzzle. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm getting ready to scale, and I'm super, super excited about that. Because I've been piloting in the Wichita, Kansas market for 2.5 years now. And really seeing if this rent-to-own thing would fly, right? Hey, does this model work? Putting together how the program works, building it out, really building the whole foundation of it. And definitely over the last 2.5 years, we've put 257 families into houses using the rent-to-own model, which is a lot for this market in such a short period of time. And so taking that, and now that we've got kind of it all put together, into other markets, because I think I have investors who are ready for me to go into the Dallas market, Kansas City, and even Ohio. I've heard there's a big need, and really kind of show this model over in those markets. And so those are my two kind of excitement, crack the code, all in one type of things that I'm working on.
Amazing. Those are some exciting goals that you have. I'm sure you'll crack the code and you'll definitely continue to scale.
Thank you.
Of course. So, when it comes to growing your network and building new relationships, what are some things that have made the biggest difference for you?
One is, I would say, talk to everybody. I talk to everybody. I will be, when I'm a social media person, I love social media. So I'm not afraid. It makes me crazy. Okay, listen, I'm old. Okay, I'm an old girl. I still am not afraid to try new technology, get onto the in front of the camera. And I'm always blown away because I'll have people join my team and they're just adorable, so social media worthy. You are perfect. You speak well, you communicate great. You're just perfect for social media, and they're terrified to get in front of a camera. And so I'm like, you need to be marketing yourself. These are real estate agents or different type of people that are in this, in this world. And I'm like, network, network, network. But also don't be afraid to put yourself out there. So I think the biggest thing for me is I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not shy. If I do ever feel any type of nervousness or anxiety, it kind of fuels me. And I'm like, ooh, that's kind of fun. Let's go for it. That means I need to push myself past that. So I would say just not being afraid to put myself out there and then talk to everybody. So if I'm in person, I go to every networking thing I can. If I'm in grocery store, I talk to every single person. You never know, one, what a person is going through. So, just never judge a book by its cover. I talk to every single person I can. And just really, I am just the consistent networker at all times. I don't care where I am, what I'm doing. My kids make fun of me because they're like, could you just turn it off sometimes? And I'm like, nope, because you guys will be pitching for me. You'll be repeating this for me when you go out. You'll talk to everybody. And and they do now. So I have my kids even do investments, and they're investors themselves now. So yeah, it's turned into kind of a family thing, which is really cool. But I never stopped talking about it. I never stopped networking. I'm just constantly put myself out there.
Amazing. I think that's so important to put yourself out there, to network, to share, to connect with people. Because, yeah, relationships are everything in this space.
It really is. It really is. And no matter how far somebody is away, I don't care if you're in, Timbuktu. I want to still build something and find out a little bit more about you and see if there's some kind of value I can provide to you. It's not always what you can provide to me. It's what value can I provide to your life? Because if I'm providing a value, doesn't matter to who, then, my business is going to grow, period.
Agreed. So, yeah, what has been like the biggest thing that you've learned from owning this business?
Um, this is the thing I'm still probably learning. This is my
Yeah.
work in progress, is probably stretching myself too thin. Because I can't be all things to all people, and sometimes I try. Like, I'm that constant problem solver, and so sometimes I just wanna solve everybody's problems, and I can't all the time. So, just, like, that is probably my biggest, sometimes, challenge, is trying to solve all the problems, and I don't really need to solve problems, I just need to provide value. Like, "Hey, this is what the value I can provide. These are the solutions I have," but really, at the end of the day, I can't solve problems. I can just provide solutions. And that is really sometimes my challenge because I'm a fixer, and I want to fix. And sometimes I can't fix. I just need to provide the solutions that I have, and it's up to somebody else to solve problems. Um, and that really is something I'm working on. That's like my recent growth that I've come to is, hey, I can give all the tools. I can share every bit of knowledge I have. I can help you in any way possible that I can. But at the end of the day, um, the choice to make action or do something is yours, not mine. You know,
Yeah, 100%. But that's a beautiful thing for you to learn and to work through. I mean, yeah, you're already in the process of doing it.
definitely work in process. Work in process.
Amazing. I love it. So before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, collaborate, learn more from you, where can people find you and connect?
Definitely. So you can always reach out to me. You can email me, Corrina at ICTRent, the number 2, own.com. You can also, my Facebook, you can connect with me on Facebook, which is Rent2Own Homes, Rent to Own Homes, LLC. My phone number is 316-841-29. That's my business line. You can always reach out to me there as well. And you can text or call that line and they'll connect you with me. Or if I don't answer, they'll connect you with me. And you'll probably get Emily or myself. And yeah, that's how you can connect.
Perfect. Well, I really appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It was a joy. I appreciate your time.
Of
Bye, guys.
course. Yeah. And for those listeners that are tuning in, if you got value, make sure that you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators just like Karina who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.